Hey everyone, I'm NATO King, and last time on Prince of Persia Warrior Within, we finally caught up with the only actual villain we've had to this point, and killed her. I mean, she was trying to push a woman off a platform, so... it all happened right down there. You can barely see the platform. But who cares about the past? We need to go catch up with that woman now, and the bridge seems to be out. Alright, there we go. Little bit of wood sticking out right there. It's amazing that the stone broke, but the wood is still there. At least it looks like wood. Maybe that's stone too. Anyway, path is pretty clear from here. Always having to take the long way around. And I think I need to run along this wall, but those shutters are open, so it doesn't make a very good path. And I'm just on the other side of the bridge, but nothing back there worth doing. I see a rope. And I think, yeah, I need to climb up and jump over to that lever there. Okay, that's the path forward. Now back to the rope so I don't take damage from falling, and yeah, I can't run across there because the wall is broken. So we'll have to do a wall run from the ground. I love the way the music changes there. It's perfect. Also perfect, we get a nice bed of spikes right here, so if we're attacked by a bunch of enemies I don't want to have to fight, instant death. Unfortunately, they don't always like to cluster there. Yeah. Oops. Did not mean to rewind there, but doesn't hurt anything much. Just need to take care of this one last kunoichi. You sit on top of the spikes. There we go. Now that they're all dealt with, I can get myself a weapon. I love this axe. I don't know what it is about this axe, but I love it. Now we just climb up to the top of the room. And yeah, I guess my sand was already full, but it's not like I'm going to need those pots later. One simple ascension. Couple more traps. Shouldn't be anything too difficult to deal with. Not going to climb up onto the ledge and in the way of that log until I've seen the whole situation. I see what I got to do. Just wait until it goes past, climb up, and jump across. No, not walking sideways. Get down. Okay, I took a little bit of damage, but that's okay. I survived. That's the important thing. And now we combine traps with ropes. I know a lot of people don't like the platforming as much in this game as the first one, and I'm one of them, but I really do love the way they put all these random elements together. And I think this timing is just going to be off no matter what I do. But close enough. Again, I took a little damage, but I don't really care because the waterfall curtain is right over there past these really easy logs. And whenever you see a waterfall curtain, it means sand portal room and water fountains to save.
The portal no longer works. Something is wrong.
Yep, that's right. The first one that we found was already active, but now we have to hit these wall switches in order to turn it on. Problem is, you gotta hit all four of them in the right order, and anytime you hit the wrong one, it resets all four of them and you gotta start over. This is of course a brilliant way to add more gameplay length without actually adding any depth or challenge at all. Except maybe the challenge of running straight up the wall. I'm guessing there's some kind of programming reason they did that, but it just seems stupid. At least it gets us our second sand power, Eye of the Storm. It's the same slow motion technique that we had in the first game, but in this game it's actually good because it doesn't slow the prints down as much as everything else.
Good. I seem to be back in the present. At least I know how these portals work.
Yep, they just go back and forth from past to present. And I'm going to save again just so I don't have to do all that wall switch stuff if I screw up. Which I probably will. And this is definitely not the same hallway that I ran through. The traps are in all different locations and stuff. What's weird is that normally the present is just kind of a rundown, defunct version of the past, but in this particular instance, it just seems to be completely different. And I guess this is kind of parallel to the original hallway because we've got this big opening in the wall right here that leads back to where we were. I just don't get it. But let's see this new power in action, because when I step on the switch, the door opens. When I step off, it'll close. So we just slow down time so that I can make it there before it closes. And I still barely have time to make it. And yes, Eye of the Storm is excellent in combat. This switch will just reopen the door that I just came through. So instead, I'm going to drop down. That, ladies and gentlemen, was the Dahaka. I tell you this because the prince is going to wait until the stupidest time to stop and think about what he just saw. Also notice how easy it was to evade. We just got out of its sight, and it walked away. It will become a less impressive villain shortly, but for now, I gotta concentrate on getting through this room. It's the same room we were in before, where we just fought Shadi, I believe. And I don't see any place to swing to from here. Oh, wait a second. This is a ledge you can stand on. Yeah, if you lose your balance on one of those beams, you just climb right back up. There is no danger. And it looks like the staircase that it first came into the room from is down. But I know what that music means. There's enemies somewhere nearby. Let's go take them out. And Kunoichi. Okay, whenever there's Kunoichi around, there's only one way to handle the fight. Get clobbered a lot, apparently. Yeah, I said I was going to try to vary my techniques and do a lot of different stuff to keep it interesting, but really, throws are the only usable option here. Okay, with the Kunoichi dealt with, now I can actually fight normally. And of course there are more of them. Okay, fighting normally doesn't work. Throw, throw, throw. I've never seen him do that before. Grabbing one from behind. That was cool. And again, we get a nice camera angle that shows us the path right up to where the Dahaka was when we last saw it. This is not a sensible place to go. But it's the only way we've got, so... At least there's a save fountain. Okay, can't go that way.
The Dahaka. It has found me here.
Yeah, it's right behind you. What did you expect? Now, if you get caught by the Dahaka, then, there was a floor there a few minutes ago. Okay, no going back and getting caught on purpose. Not a whole lot of time to hesitate as the floor is falling out behind us. And the world slowly returns to color, meaning that we have lost him for the moment. But I still want to hang out here just in case he shows up, because you have to see what happens when you get caught. I don't think he's coming. And I guess I drop down here. There we go. Somehow this looks familiar. Can't really place why. I recognize this room. I know that hallway. So here we are, forced backtracking, in a sense. The good news is it's not nearly as much as I thought it was, but actually before we go, I want to fill up my sand tank. Assuming I actually find any sand. There's always some. But we're going to be retracing our steps a little bit. And I think veterans are... oh, I want to run straight up. Ooh, it's my favorite axe again. As I was saying, people who've played this game enough should be very, very wary, bordering on terrified, of any sort of backtracking that has to do with time portals. And you may remember there's a time portal right at the end of this hallway, which we've already used. You have to do it in this one instance. Otherwise, never reuse a time portal. Ever. Okay, I'm not interested in getting caught right now.
What's this? Cannot cross the water. This is certain to come in handy.
Yes, the Guardian of Time, the arbiter of what did and didn't happen, is afraid of water. How much more pathetic can you get?
We've managed to lose the Dahaka. For now, best I stay alert. It will return. It always does.
Yeah, of course, we do need to go back this way because we're returning to the Great Hall. But, I don't know, something about treading old ground.
What kind of beast is this?
Well, I guess that answers one question. It seems to be trying to kill us. Don't really understand why, or what it... that's not the way I wanted to jump. The controls are usually so fluid. It is really my own ineptitude that's causing most of these mistakes. But something about the controls just seems to lend itself so easily to big screw-ups like that. Okay, we've been here before. There were enemies last time. And I'm pretty sure that at least in the PS2 version, the enemies actually respawned when you made this passage. You don't need to go this way at this point if you already got the life upgrade. Just kind of want to remind you that it's over here, and you can come back and get it once you have the Eye of the Storm power. Which not only makes it a lot easier to get into the opening before it closes, but it also makes it easier to navigate the trap-filled hallway because you can slow it down. And as for getting back down without going back through that room, I think I can drop down onto that bridge once I get above it. Am I... Nope, a little off. Okay, just slide over so I'm distinctly above the bridge. Okay, can't fall quite that far. And now I'm 2 sand tanks down, so time for a refill. Wait, that didn't actually refill my sand tank. There we go. Hello? Little sand... okay, whatever. There's more where that came from, although... it doesn't look like everything respawned. This is the way you get down safely. Yeah, none of the enemies came back. Not that I mind not having to fight enemies, it's just kind of weird. And finally, back to the Great Hall. Our backtracking quest is over, and the door at the far end is now open, so we can go through. Of course, I didn't notice that the first time I played the game, and I ended up making another loop through the 2 sand portals we've already been through. Those of you who've beaten the game are now cringing. For everyone else, we'll pick up where we left off next time.